let's start. So there is a specific opening. We will go to the position where you played good moves in the opening, and then we will see how to continue from there, where you don't know how to continue because that's a very specific line. So let's see, e4, e5. Yeah, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. So till now, this opening we have discussed that this is how we develop, and then so this bishop we are developing because this bishop eyeing this pawn on f7.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 minute. I'm checking why it is not showing arrows. Yes, please give me 1 minute. I'm checking why it is not showing any arrow.
I can see the arrows.
Okay, when I design giving the arrow, you are able to see.
Yes, you moved to F7, no?
So when I'm doing this, you are seeing an arrow,
Yes, yes.
but I am not seeing it.
Let me just check it out.
Maybe I'll just refresh for a while. Yeah, I will try to open this software again. Please give me 2 minutes.
Yes, yes.
Resume. Okay, so we were in this position, and I was saying till now you are aware that this is how we play, and then if this bishop come to c4, you also don't play knight f6, but you play bishop c6.
Yes.
e5, because if you play this knight, then this knight will be blocking your queen, and this knight will jump there.
Mm.
So to stop this, you play bishop c5, that what you played. Now, if your opponent plays this move, you can simply capture it.
Mm.
And if your opponent try to defend this square with this bishop, now no need to worry, simply develop your knight, and then if this knight goes there, you castle.
Mm.
This is what we have learned, but there is one more line that took place in this game, that is, so after this bishop c5, your opponent plays c3.
Mm.
So after c3, we will see what happens. Now you play knight f6. This is also totally fine. Now there is a move that we need to learn. Now your opponent will play d4. Now this pawn is attacking this pawn, this bishop. So now I will tell you what to do. But before telling, so now you are playing as black. What do you think? What are the options do you have? Like what are the candidate moves that you can think of playing?
First thing that comes to my mind is to save my bishop.
How will you save?
D6, bishop D6.
Bishop d6. Okay. After bishop d6,
or
think.
even e7 also is fine, but d6 is okay.
Okay, so d6 is a blunder. Find out how.
Because that pawn will capture this e5, and again my bishop will have to run.
No, but you can run. But can you run? If it is a blunder, it means you are losing a piece. So we are thinking if you play bishop d6, you will lose a piece. You have to find out how. And you have to think if you play bishop d6, what your opponent will do and how he is able to capture one of your piece.
That pawn will capture my e5, and the queen will capture the bishop. But why the queen will capture? I will also capture. No, the queen won't take that much risk.
But after this d capture on e5, it is black to move. This is one of the very famous and important opening called Gioco Piano. So we will learn what to do, but for now you think.
So I have to think like my bishop is on d6, right?
Yeah,
What
and
white
you're
can.
yes.
That pawn will capture my e5.
Okay. So after this pawn capture on e5, what is the threat?
Again, it is targeting my bishop.
And
That line for queen is open.
and
What else? That's all I can think of.
so let's see. If you play bishop d6, this d capture on e5 comes.
Yeah.
Now this pawn not only attacking your bishop but also attacking your knight. And this pawn is defended by this knight.
Right.
So this bishop on d6 will be not able to capture this pawn because this knight will capture. And now there is a pawn on d5 who is attacking your knight and also bishop. If you save your knight, you will lose your bishop. If you save your bishop, you will lose your knight. This is how you lose a piece. So after this d4 move, if you play bishop d6, now he will play d capture on e5. You will lose a piece. If you capture this pawn,
I could have come to b6. Yeah, gone.
and if you save this bishop somewhere, knight is gone. So that is why d6 loses a piece. Now think of any other moves.
Bishop on b6.
Okay, so now if you play bishop b6, think what your opponent can do. You have to move the pieces in your mind.
Again, the pawn can capture that e5 and then bring the bishop on the dark square.
No, after pawn capture on e5, it is black to move. What happens if he capture on e5? What is the threat?
Now my knight, I have to move my knight from f6.
Yes, where will you?
I can go to g4. If I capture this, pawn on e4. Yeah, knight can capture this pawn on e4, right?
Okay, you capture on e4. Then suppose if he plays queen e2.
Queen e2. Knight. Now since the bishop moved to b6, right? So I can come to c5. There is no pawn on d4.
But there is a pawn on e4 who can capture your knight on d5.
And the move is my knight, the pawn captures on e5. This comes to e, knight capture on e4. Queen comes here. So what should I do? Yes. Knight can come to c5.
c5.
I'm thinking, is it a good move?
Yeah, don't you think your all of the pieces are on queen side and there is no one
Crowded.
to...
All crowding around.
Suppose if this is a position, you are playing as black, what will you play?
Come to g5. Knight can come to g5. Okay, that is there. My queen is there. My queen is gone.
If you come to g5, knight will capture, you can't capture with your queen because bishop is there.
Not a good move. So I think I should come to c5 only.
Why can't you capture on f2?
Go there and give check. Huh?
Not check, but capture with your knight.
Knight, or capture with my knight. And this position often comes, then I am in a dilemma whether to capture with my knight or with my bishop.
So now capturing with your knight is more safer, because suppose if you capture with your bishop, now what happens is, first this king can simply move there. Now this both of the pieces are under attack.
Okay.
Now if this knight moves somewhere, the bishop falls. If bishop moves somewhere, then this knight falls.
Mm,
But
okay.
if you capture with your knight, then what happens is, this knight is nicely defended by this bishop.
Mm,
And this bishop is already on safe square.
yes.
So this knight is attacking this rook also.
Mm,
And when this rook comes here, now he is ready to capture your knight, and he will be happy to exchange his one rook with two pieces. Now you can simply come back.
okay.
This bishop is still controlling this diagonal. The knight is safe. The knight can is safe. If he try to attack your knight, then no problem. Then you can even go to a6 and then bring your knight in the center.
Mm, okay.
So this is still complicated, but suppose so this if you play bishop b6 and if you capture there, then this is how it will lead to bit complication. But there is one more thing. If you don't capture, but you simply play d5, now what will you do?
My knight. Knight to here. My knight to e7.
Yes. So why to e7? Why not, for example, to ba5? You have two options, even three options. You can go to b8 also.
Yeah, coming back to the same position, no, I generally don't prefer that. Like we moved from B8 only, no? So
Okay, so B8 is not a good
not
option.
absolutely necessary.
Okay, so
And
how do you choose between these two squares?
actually coming to that A5 is also not a bad option because I'm uh, giving threat to that C4 bishop.
Okay,
And here if I come that pawn, that the pawn can just move forward. That's not the. So coming to A5 is a better option, right?
no, we are just checking. We don't know.
Okay.
So now suppose let's check A5 first. So if you go A5, you attack this bishop, and this bishop simply moves one square, go to D4. Now what will you do?
Mm, I'll capture that pawn.
Which one?
It has come to D, no? D6, it has come to 5, no? Fine. How do I capture this? No. This is gone. This is there. And of course, it's here on 5. D5. So, I will move my D7 to D6.
Okay, D7 to D6. Now suppose if he plays B4. Your knight is under attack on a5.
Yeah.
How will you save?
And go anywhere there. The bishop is there. Yeah, this is good. Pawn is there. I can't save my knight now.
Yes. So if you go to a5, your knight is being trapped.
Yes.
So it seems a good move, like you are attacking this bishop. But once this bishop moves, this knight does not have any square to go.
Yeah.
It can't come back there. It can't go there. It can't go there.
Mm.
Even on b7 there is a pawn, so it can also come back. So now whatever you does, even if you castle, you play this pawn, you play this pawn, he is going to play b4 and your knight is lost.
Yeah.
That is why a5 seems a good move, but it is a blunder.
Yes.
So now after this you have to play knight e7.
Okay.
And this knight can jump to g6 and these two knights will be good.
Yeah.
And if this pawn comes there, now what will you do?
Capture. Capture with my pawn. C7.
Capture with your pawn, this queen will capture now.
Oh. Bring my queen out. My queen on c7.
Queen c7, okay. And now he captured this pawn also.
Oh. Both of us will lose the queen. If I capture, he'll capture with his knight. But you know, such situations when the queen becomes very powerful, like the opponent's queen has come till here and my queen is still on 7th rank.
Yes.
So, sacrifice or exchange of queen is better or no. Some of the opponents know they just capture the queen.
Yeah, you can exchange. In this, there is a very beautiful tactic which may not come into the game, but now it is there. The tactic is bishop capture on f2 check.
Okay.
Suppose if king capture, what will you do?
My queen, I have to move my queen.
But you sacrifice a bishop for what purpose? There has to be some purpose. This move you have to find, black to move.
This D7, pawn on D7.
See the whole board. See where are your pieces, where are your opponent pieces. Don't only see your queen, your opponent queen, or nearby pieces. See the whole chessboard, and then find a move for black.
Again, I can give check with my queen. but it will go there. There are 2-3 things like I can give check with my queen from b6, queen b6 check.
So what are the checks
Run
do
away
you have?
somewhere. What are the?
Check giving moves do you have? Think in CCT mode.
Okay, one is that queen b6,
And
that knight capture e4,
and
e4 check. One is that, and third one. But the queen, if it goes here, this queen will capture. So
we are only seeing the check giving moves.
okay, the other check giving move is queen on c5.
Okay, and
c5, queen b6, knight capture on e4, and last which one is again knight can come to 4, g4.
yes, so these are the 4 check you have. These are the 4 checks you have.
Yeah.
So now check all the checks one by one and see which one is best. Then we will see if any of the best, otherwise we will move on to second C, which is captures.
But knight on g4 is best.
How?
And if it's giving check and attacking the queen also.
Yes, opponent will lose his queen.
Queen, yes.
So this
What
was
happens?
the
No, and there's a board. Not checking the left side, like the whole board we have to see, and that I saw this one, no, like that. Pawn capture I could make out immediately, but this side I could have gone, no? The g4. Yes. Such moves I should see immediately.
yes.
Yes.
So this is the move, and this was the purpose of sacrificing this knight so that this king can come to f2.
Okay.
So we are forcing the king to come to f2 so that knight can give check and fork the queen.
Okay.
And even before that, when you played queen c7 and when white capture your pawn, now also there is a good move. Then even if you don't see this move, even if you don't want to exchange your queen, there is still a better. Again, see the whole chessboard and then find out.
That pawn on d6, d7 to d6.
There is an immediate advantage that you can get. See all of your pieces, see your opponent pieces, which one is nicely defended, which one is not defended at all, how you can capture.
That bishop capture.
Yes, who is defending this bishop?
Red bishop. Yes.
There is no one to defend this.
Yeah.
Simply capture this.
Yes.
And now even you are blocking this king to castle and go to the safety.
Yes.
So these kind of moves are very important for you to see.
Yes.
This can immediately put your position into strong, and then it will be easier for you to win. Okay, so in this, still if you see, white pieces are a bit more active. They are just controlling this diagonal, queen is jumping there, and your knight on e7 is a bit less developed. He will take few moves to get into the game. So the main idea is when your opponent plays this d4, moving your bishop anywhere leads a bad position for black. So wherever you go, it is giving so much time for your opponent to decide whatever he wants to do, and it is you who end up defending. So now there is a line that I will share. The line goes, you don't move your bishop, you capture, e capture on d4. Now the obvious move is your opponent will capture with this pawn and again attack your bishop.
Yes.
But since this pawn was there, now this pawn came there, so this diagonal is open. So you will not move your bishop neither to e7, neither go back there. You will go to bishop b4, check.
Yes.
Now there are a few things that your opponent can do. Your opponent can block with his knight. Now again, no need to worry, but still your opponent has very strong center. So move you will play is knight capture on e4.
Okay.
Now this knight is attacking this knight, and this knight will be not able to capture because this knight is pinned.
It's pinned. Yes.
Now what he will do is he will simply castle to unpin his king.
Yes.
Now he is ready to capture your knight.
Yes.
So what you will do is you will not let him capture your knight, you will remove this knight, you will capture with your bishop. And now this pawn will capture your bishop. Now you see your knight is undefended. But this knight is in the center and very strong, so you will not bring this knight back and neither you will castle. What you will do is you will cement this knight right there. You will play d5. This d5 serves two purposes. First, it is giving a defense for your knight, which is very strong in the center. Second, it is attacking this bishop also. And if this bishop goes anywhere, no need to worry. Just, or even you can wait. You can play, for example, bishop g4 also.
Okay.
Because now if this bishop captures, you can capture with your pawn, and now this knight is gone because it is pinned by your bishop, and now pawn is attacked.
Yes.
Or even after this, you capture, your opponent can play, for example, rook e1, pinning this pawn. No need to worry, you can simply castle.
Yes.
So this is how you reach this position where there is no problem. On the tension in the center has gone and your pieces are still developed. This rook can come there, queen can go to anywhere based on situation. This rook will also enter into the game. So this is the main line of this opening. So this you will learn more and more when you play, but there are a few things that you can remember, that when this pawn comes, attack your bishop, you have captured this pawn.
Just captured. Yes.
And
Don't run away.
when this pawn captures, then you have to give check.
Yes.
And when this knight blocks, no need to capture, no need to do anything. You need to capture this pawn also.
Okay.
When he move his king, then you can first remove this knight because there is no one to defend your knight. Now there is a question. So there are many lines and it may get complicated, but still I will show you because the more you will win game, the more stronger opponent you will feel, and they will know all these things. So if you don't capture with your bishop, and if you decide to capture with your knight, then he capture with your his b pawn and attack your bishop.
Okay.
Now it seems that this pawn is undefended, and you can simply capture this and attack his rook also.
Yes.
But what your opponent can do is he can just ignore your attack. He can play queen b4. The idea is he is offering you to capture his bishop, but when suppose if you capture his bishop, then he will capture the f7 pawn and give you check.
Yes.
Now you have to move your king, and once you move your king, he will keep bringing his pieces to attack.
Yeah.
And so now this queen, where it will go? It can't go anywhere because it can't go to e8 because of this bishop. It can't go to this diagonal because this knight is defending. So the only move defend your queen is this knight, block this bishop. But now your opponent will not get greedy and he will not capture your bishop. What he will do is he will keep attacking. He will simply play rook e1.
Okay.
This knight is pinned, it can't go anywhere because this bishop will capture your queen. And this bishop is blocked, this bishop has gone somewhere very far, it can't enter into the game.
Yeah.
Now if you try to, like, you don't have anything to try. For example, if you try to play h6 to attack this bishop will simply capture this knight.
Okay.
And now even
because that rook is there.
yeah, but you don't have any option.
Yeah.
So you have to capture. Once you capture, this rook will capture. Now you can capture with your king, but then queen will come, or maybe. But yeah, he can start bringing his more pieces. So this king will be checkmated very soon. See, this rook is not into the game. Bishop is totally blocked. This rook is not into the game. This bishop is not into the game. These three pieces will be enough for white to win.
Yes.
So this is also one of the line.
King also out into the open, like.
Yes. So that is why capturing with your knight leads to all this kind of attack from white.
Okay.
So that is why we always capture with bishop.
Okay.
And once you capture with your bishop, you place there. Now again you may see that you can still capture this pawn with your knight and attack the queen. But this is not a good move. You will lose your piece because the queen again will go to b4.
Yeah. Yes.
A very standard attack from white. Now he is not only attacking your f7 pawn and giving check, he is also attacking your knight.
Knight. Yes.
If you save your knight, then it is gone. You save your king, he will bring his rook also.
Yeah.
Now if you play this move, now it's too late because he can just simply capture with his bishop. Now if you, where will this knight go? If you try to save this, now even he can pin this knight, play bishop g4.
Yeah.
See how easily his pieces are moving and increasing his attack. And your all pieces are stuck in their initial position, and the king lost the castling right also.
Yeah.
So this is a standard attack. That is why first we capture with our bishop, and we don't capture this pawn. We simply play d5 to stop all this.
Okay.
Now this diagonal is closed. This bishop has to move. The knight is defended. You are ready to castle. You are ready to play bishop g4 also.
Yes, bishop. Yes.
These are the 2-3 moves you need to remember in this position. Whenever your opponent plays this c3 and c4, attack your bishop, capture with this pawn captures, give check, this knight comes, capture the knight, this pawn captures, not right. After this, you give check, this knight comes, capture this pawn, attack this knight twice, he will most likely castle. Now capture the knight, pawn captures, you play d5.
Yeah.
I know it is too much, but still you can try to remember.
Yes, yes.
And
As
there
long as you
are,
remember, no, not to capture immediately, like tempting. The opponent tempts you, sort of.
yes, so there are a few more variations, but we will learn all of them as and when you face those lines in your games.
Yeah.
Now there is no much point if I start giving you all the lines, you will not remember any of them. Okay, so for today you can remember this. Now we will see what happens in the game. Yes, so if you play d6, we saw you will lose a piece. He will play. He did not
So
play.
straight away captured.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He plays this.
I lost my knight, I think.
Yeah, now you need to be careful. Like whenever you put your pieces in this horizontal, just side by side, your opponent can always play this one,
Yes.
and it will attack both the pieces.
Both the pieces.
This you need to be careful that like you want to play your bishop there, but always be careful if you go there, then this pawn is already there. He can simply play this and attack your both the piece. Always be careful, and especially when your knight is on the side of the board, no need to attack. First, you can go castle your king to the safety, and somewhere try to bring this knight into the game.
I could have moved like kingside castling. If I am doing, I can bring my pawn to b6 also, no? So the knight has one more place to come to.
Yes, you can play b6 so that this knight can come
Then,
there.
because I have done castling on this side, on the
Yes,
other side.
even from b7, you can also jump to c5. Now, knight on c5 is
Yes.
far better than knight on a5.
Okay. Yes.
So before playing this, these two things you can do: simply castle, even play b6, give some breathing square this knight.
Yes.
This is one thing. Now, even before castling, he could have simply played this, and again you will lose your piece.
Yeah.
Now, since he did not see, now what you could have done?
This pawn I could have moved, no? For castling, of course, I can do it later. Yeah, that B.
No, but if you now move, then also it's too late. Now, if you save your knight, you will lose your bishop.
My bishop. Hmm.
So now, can we do anything? Because this c6 square is also not available because of this. c4 is also not available. And if you try to play your bishop there, then again he will play this. Now this knight can't go anywhere. So I think this bishop has to stay right there, and before this bishop you need to save your knight. Now you can play this b6 move.
Okay.
And first you bring your knight to the safety, and then you think what to do.
Okay. I need not hurry about castling also, no? Yeah, nobody is attacking or
No, you need to see what is the immediate need. So immediate need is that your knight is out of the game. Bring him inside.
yes, yes.
And so whenever your knight is on a5, there is always a danger that this pawn on queen side will try to attack your knight, and your knight may get trapped.
Yes.
Because in the opening there are too many pieces, and your pieces may not have square to retreat.
Mm.
So it's better to keep your pieces on safe square in the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah, this move was good, this c6, because if you block with your bishop, you will lose your this bishop.
yeah, this you taught me, no, in one of the classes. I was breaking my head. I took some time to think, oh, you taught me this. Then I remembered.
Yeah,
Yes, we
so
had a brainstorming session on this.
yeah, now the only move save everything is this
Yes,
c6.
this one. Yes,
Because now this queen is defending the bishop.
yes.
This is one of the standard way to defend your pieces on a5 or h5 on all these diagonals. So this was a move out of panic.
Yeah. Horrible. This was terrible move.
So now you are not
I
under
should have
pressure.
just moved my knight. This rook I could have brought into the game, no? Even now I could have done castling, no?
You can't do the castling because queen is controlling
Because
one of the
you are
stone.
moving there. Uh,
Now this bishop is out of the game, right? No one is there to defend him. So why not bring him inside?
okay.
Now you are attacking the queen.
Hmm. This should have been the move. Okay.
Now the queen has to go somewhere. For example, if queen try to stay on the same diagonal and stop you from the castling, then what to do? Yeah, then you can bring this rook also on c8. Now you can threaten or kind of discovered attack on the queen.
Okay.
So these should be the way. So basically, in this position, you need to force this queen to go away from this diagonal so that you can castle.
Mhm.
So even that, what you can do is you can try to exchange your queen also, no problem. Let him capture you. Your king will come to e7. This rook will go to b8, and then your king can go like this.
Hmm.
At least he will not have many pieces to attack.
This was the biggest blunder. Panic
Yeah,
situation. Panic situation.
yeah. This move is called out of panic.
Yeah. Could have nicely come to c7, no?
This move is also out of panic. This knight g4.
No, I was thinking he is going on attacking my this. Let me distract the opponent.
But you need to first put your king to the safety.
Safety. Yes.
You can't attack while your king is in the center,
Danger.
especially when your opponent pieces are so nearby. So
Yeah.
right now, the best way be just to exchange one of the important strong piece.
Mm.
So if this queen captures, you capture with your king, and now this king is far more safer because there are not many
Then
pieces.
okay. Yes.
So now this both rooks are connected, and this can swing anytime, anywhere you desire.
Mm.
So this is how you need to keep your head calm and composed even when you are under pressure. So see, now your knight goes to g4, it got attacked, now again you came back.
2 move wasted.
You used two moves, nothing changes in your situation.
Yeah. Instead, I could have moved my queen and exchanged the queen.
Yes,
As you thought. Yes.
even if you don't want to exchange the queens, bring this rook somewhere on c8, then even bring this rook to c6, attack the queen, something like this.
Yeah.
These two moves even helped him to, create this breathing square for his own king in the later. So we should not help our opponent to develop his pieces.
Mm.
Yes, now he gave you chance. Now you should just castle. And why did you play rook g8?
The queen was attacking that pawn.
So what? If you castle, your king is defending.
Hmm.
This
Yes,
queen
if I
can't
knew
capture
about that
this.
queen, I should have done this.
Yes. Now still everything is okay. And now whatever white does, since your king is in the same file, just play king h8 also.
Okay.
Now bring this rook also into the game, bring this rook also into the game, and now see, like these two pieces are undefended. There is no one to defend. So you can straight away play rook c8, attack the knight, then even you can play this rook also there, and whenever you move this bishop, this rook will be attacking this bishop.
Yes.
So when your opponent plays this queen g3, of course it is attacking this pawn, but no need to defend with rook, simply castle. These are the idea will help you to defend better. Because now what happens is, now you lost your castling right, these two rooks are not connected, and you are already a piece down.
Nowhere my king can move also. It's all.
Yes.
Some of my moves are terrible.
Let's see how he plays. So now you wanted to develop your rook. Why to play on b1? Why not play on c8, attack the knight who is undefended piece?
Mm.
So these are the small things you have to see, that these two pieces are undefended.
Indifferent. Okay.
We should try to attack them, take advantage of their this position.
Mm.
These pieces are called loose pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Loose pieces means it is not nicely defended.
Yeah.
So we should always keep our eyes open to see, is there any loose piece on the board or not. Like for example, for black, this knight is a loose piece. There is no one to defend this.
Mm.
For white, he has two pieces who are loose. Even this rook is loose because there is no one to defend. This bishop is blocking this rook to defend.
This one. Yes.
So your planning should be how to attack this bishop, this rook, and also this rook.
Okay.
So when you find your target, it becomes easy for you to find your plans.
Yeah. I could have moved my queen also there.
Yeah, you can even play queen c5. You can even play rook c8.
Yeah, queen on B also is fine. No?
Queen
B4
on
also.
Yeah, queen on b4 is also fine. So, so your idea is that you found your target and you want to attack them. That's all.
Yes. Once I reach there, one by one, like, okay.
Yeah, because for example, this rook b8 is also good move. You are developing your rook and controlling the open file, but these are the better moves.
I can't move to 3, no? B3 I can't move because of that pawn. So I should have moved to C file only. Okay.
Yes, so this was a good move from your opponent. So since you played this rook b8, now he saw that your rook is on the same diagonal as his queen.
Yeah.
So what he can do is he can play this, attack your bishop also at the same time, attack your rook.
Yes. I saw this and I felt so bad. क्या करें?
Now, yeah, you can capture with your queen. Now, the most important problem you are facing is you have only two pieces who is playing. This rook is out of the game.
Yes.
Just imagine if this king would have been there on g8 and your rook would have been on e8. It would have been easier for you to play.
Yes. I would have been in a stronger position. Like,
Yes. In this kind of position, how you can bring your rook is you can play g5.
okay.
Bring this rook this way.
Okay.
No need to wait to play f6 or then play your king and bring there. This rook can be left. This is called rook left.
Yes.
So whenever your rook is stuck like this, just move the pawn who are in front 2 squares and then your rook is ready to enter.
Okay.
These are the very small thing, but it will help you in a long way. Yes, so see, you are only playing with your knight and your queen.
Yeah. This pawn I could have moved, as you said.
Yeah, now your target should be just play g5. This g5 pawn is also defended by your queen and also rook, and bring your rook out.
Yes.
Because all of your opponent pieces are out and they will just keep attacking you, and without the rook it will be very difficult for you to defend.
Mm.
Yes, now it's over. See how he is playing. He is bringing all of his pieces in the attack.
Yes.
This is how you should play.
Mm.
This knight has also entered into the party.
Yeah. And I've got only my knight.
You don't have your knight also.
Yeah. That also I was trying so hard with my king. Gone now.
Yeah, very nice.
He played very well. Like, this was a
Yes,
tough
yes.
game for me.
This was one of the very nice game that you can learn.
Yes.
Okay, so we will see one of the one more game.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so in this game also you are black. So there are few. This is very short game, but let's see what happens. E4, E5. So, yeah, so this is I don't know why your opponent played this C2 move, but still it's always good to be careful. But this is not a good move. He should just keep developing his piece.
Which one? This queen to c2.
Yeah, there is no purpose of queen c2. He is just wasting a move to move his queen. He should have just developed other pieces. But we will see how this waste move led checkmate. So your move are good. Okay. Yes. So now, why you are playing d5? What is the need of d5? This move.
I want to bring my bishop out. No, that c, a light square bishop.
Yes, you can do that, but you need to see here this knight is pressing this pawn, this bishop is pressing this pawn. Before playing any of this, you need to kick this knight away.
Okay.
And once this knight goes back, and even to bring your bishop back, why to play d5? Because it will lead.
That would have been sufficient.
Yes, because if you play two square, there are so many things you need to calculate. What if this bishop captures? What if this pawn captures? And all those things. Because this is how you lost this game. If you play this, you did not capture. If this pawn captures, this queen is attacking there.
Yes.
And now this knight is also attacking.
Yes.
So in the beginning, it is always better to keep things simple. Even if you don't want to kick this knight away, you can simply play d6.
That's good. Yes.
Now, no problem. This pawn is blocking his own queen. And now you are ready to develop this bishop, but always try to kick your opponent piece away when they are near your king.
I was more worried about that bishop on c4, no?
Why you are worried? Who is attacking this bishop?
No, c4.
C.
He is attacking my f7.
So what? We saw this rook can capture.
Plus that knight.
No, this we saw that if this knight and bishop attack this pawn and your rook is there, no need to worry.
No need to worry, yes.
If any of these capture, you need to capture with your rook. You got two pieces for a rook.
For a rook, yes.
So right now, the more time your opponent pieces stay near the king, it will be more and more dangerous.
Okay.
So it's better to kick you, not let your opponent pieces stay in your camp or stay near your king, just kick them away.
Okay.
Now this knight has to go back, because if you capture there, then it's good for you. You simply capture with your rook, bishop captures, king captures.
Yes. Yeah.
Now if he castles, no problem, just bring your king back.
Yeah.
Now develop this, develop your bishop, play your queen e7, this rook will come on f8. Let me show how it happens. So if he play this, no need to worry, play this. If he, what he will do, he will play this, no need to worry, play this. If he develop his knight, you also develop your queen. If you bring this rook, now you bring this rook.
Okay.
Now the position is good, your all pieces are developed, you are ready to see how to attack. And you have two pieces for a rook, which is always good. From this game, one thing that you have to remember, first, do not have unnecessarily fear, which is not based on clear-cut calculation. Second, whenever your opponent piece come near to your king, don't let them stay for too long. Always try to kick them away.
Yes.
Okay, so now still it is fine, but your knight is under attack, and now this is what happens into the game. This you should be able to see, this is a long range attack. This queen and this knight is attacking this.
Yes.
Suppose if this knight is not there, it is a checkmate.
Yes.
So you have to be very careful not moving this knight.
Right. Yes.
So since this knight is under attack, you can simply save this knight.
Mm.
Now you are ready to capture with your knight because bishop capture, your queen is there.
Yes.
But you capture this pawn with this knight.
I gave
Now-
the opponent this opportunity, no? Come, Maramji.
Now the queen capture on h7 and game finished.
Over, game finished. Horrible.
So this only became possible because you let this knight stay in your camp for too long.
On that mistake, and again, this night again, I moved my knight, no? This was again a blunder.
This
Like even if that queen came, I could have captured, no? Even if that knight came or
yeah, this you did because you did not see it is a checkmate.
no.
That is why you missed this, and that is why it is always to play safe, kick our opponent piece away, so that even if you miss something, it will not lead to a drastic loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the few things from these two games you can remember. So now, yeah, we will solve few position for next 10 minutes or something, if you have time. Yeah, so this position is very, very important and it is a very important concept that you should be aware. So white to play, find out the checkmate. In this book, we are only learning checkmate, and once we solve all the important one, then there is another book that we will start that will improve overall your calculation and intuition.
Okay.
First, like
White
whenever
to
you
play.
yes, whenever you try to solve a position, just try to get a feel of it, like where are the pieces, who is better, and everything, and then try to see what are the major candidate moves do you have, and then try to check them which one is better.
The first thing I noticed in this was my white queen and rook. Both are on the c5.
Yeah, I keep sharing.
So, and that king has gone to a corner, a8. So, if my queen goes to c8 to capture my queen, and again this comes check. Black queen is eyeing my c1, but I have my queen there. If it's like now we start with the move, I have to first save my rook from c1.
Save your rook, you save your pieces when they are undefended right now. This rook is already saved.
Straight away move my queen to c8.
You keep thinking for your opponent also. If you play c8, what your opponent will do, then what will you do, all those things you have to find out.
Like this. Okay. Opponent will capture my queen.
he has the option of capturing your queen.
Yeah.
So now think if he
Just
chooses
capture my rook also here and give me check.
and then
So if he captures my queen will capture.
so he's losing his queen.
He's losing and he can't give me check that way. So what will I do? Oh great. My pawn is on 7th rank, white.
Okay.
But if I go there, this queen will capture. Again that queen I capture. Then what is happening? D7 to D8. This one will capture. And with the rook it will capture. Then again I go with my rook there to C8. Let's check. So first move should be that pawn move.
Yeah, tell me the full variation, then we'll see.
Yeah. D8.
Then
Let's see one thing. I want to learn the language also. 1 second. How do I write this? D8. Now exchange equals queen, right?
yes.
Queen will capture that, or even that rook can capture. Okay, let the queen capture. Queen capture on D8. Queen capture D8. Okay, then my queen on C7. Queen capture again D8. Okay. Rook capture D8. Now my this rook is on C1. Rook comes to 8. Check. Checkmate is. First, let me move my pawn.
Yeah, tell me the full variation.
Yeah, I wrote it down. D8 equals Q. Have I written it correctly? I think somewhere I've written wrong. I think D8 equal Q. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then queen captures D8.
And keep moving these pieces in your mind.
Yeah, first I thought in my mind, then I wrote it down because it equal this, no? I was not getting it.
Yeah, just keep moving your pieces so that we know where are the pieces in the last.
Okay.
Yes, keep going.
So queen captures D8. Now my queen will capture D8, white. Then rook captures D8 and the rook from C1 comes to C8.
Then,
Checkmate.
but where is your opponent rook?
Did I capture this? We are going. So first I should move my queen then.
No, what is the problem in last variation that you will see?
That rook is still alive, no? I thought he's not there.
Yes, that rook is there on D8, and when you happily go
D8.
to C8, he will capture you.
Yeah, it is still there. Yes.
That is why I was saying move the pieces in your mind so that you don't forget where are the pieces.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, keep thinking.
Now the first thing is we should, yeah, tell me.
Now keep thinking, find the checkmate. Acha, suppose just one thing before you think all those other things. If you play c8 and bring your queen, suppose like if you capture with this queen, then it's equal, then there is no checkmate. But suppose if you capture with this rook, then what will you do? Is there any difference in that?
Again, knight is having the same problem, no? Captures with the rook. Then this comes here, captures with the rook. And this comes here, captures with the queen. Again, it's not a checkmate. First thing is, I think I should move my queen, then take a queen.
Okay, think.
Just to c8. The queen goes to c8. Okay, so this rook will capture this. Then what I do, I capture with my pawn and a queen and a checkmate now. Yes. So first I move my queen to C, and what is that? C, yeah, C8. Queen C8. Rook capture C8. Okay. Then this pawn is there. Pawn capture C8 and take a queen, and then it is a checkmate.
Okay.
We are not touching this black square at all. We are going in this angle.
Okay, so suppose after this rook c8, he doesn't capture your queen. He plays, for example, something else. For example, he plays a6, just giving some breathing square for his king. What will you do?
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't capture.
Because when we try to find the checkmate, we also try to think for our opponent how he can save. So after queen c8, if he capture with his rook, then it's lost, because then you will play d capture on c8, bring your queen, or then get checkmate.
Yes.
So he will not do that.
Okay.
He will try to save, he will simply play a6.
I capture his, if I capture his rook, what he will capture my queen. Then I can't go there. If I bring my, okay, and it's captures. He can't capture because I have a pawn here. See, if my queen is on c8 and he doesn't capture, I will capture. The king captures this.
Okay.
Okay, queen, again, I'll speak in a better language. Queen c8. Okay, and opponent just moved a6, right?
Okay.
E6. Queen capture rook. What is that? b8. Queen cross captures b8.
Check.
Okay, now the king, and it's a check. So the king can capture my queen. Nobody
Okay.
can defend. Okay. So the king captures a b8. b8. Now what I do, I bring my rook there to c8.
Okay.
It can't capture because I have my pawn there,
Okay.
but it can come here.
Where?
It can, but there's a pawn here. Oh. So again it goes to 7.
Yes, that is why he played A6.
Yeah, so again he'll come to 7. Is no,
It was the
better
ultimate.
that I play this one. But we read you taught me something about that 7th rank, how powerful it is. Something I'm missing out. 1 second. One here, this one here.
Okay, tell me, think in CCT mode.
This position?
In every position, you should think in CCT mode.
Okay.
So now start with finding checks. How many checks do you do? First, we will see the checks. Then we'll see the captures. And check means it can be check plus captures, but check has to be there. Capture means only capture, not check.
Okay. Queen captures this B7.
Okay, so you have 2 checks, right?
Yes.
Now calculate in both of the check what your opponent can do, and do you have anything after that. So you can take any one of them and then see.
Queen captures this rook B8. Queen captures B8. It's a check. But the king can capture my queen. And then if we go there, this will capture my queen. So one thing is queen capture B7.
No, first you were thinking of queen capture on B8.
Yeah, but I think it's not working.
No, first you have to finish this till the end.
Yeah, I will tell you. Yeah, queen captures on B8.
Okay, then?
The king captures B8.
Then?
Yeah. And if I bring my rook here, or even if I bring my rook also, this king cannot capture. It will just move to, we moved to this pawn, we moved, no, to A6.
No, when he moved his pawn. He only moved his pawn when you played queen C8. But in this position, you did not play queen C8. You are directly starting with queen capture on B8.
Okay. Got it. So straight away, first thing is this capture. Queen capture B8. King captures B8. Okay. Now this rook to C8, check. It can't capture because this pawn is there, and it can't come here. Yes.
No, here means where?
See, queen captures B8, king captures B8, rook to C8. King cannot capture my rook on C8, or it cannot move to C7 because my rook is there.
Okay.
And it can't capture because this pawn is there on D7.
Okay.
Yes.
And he also can't move to A7 or B7 because he's blocked by his own pawn.
Yes.
So
He
this
can't
is
move there.
yes. So this is the move. Queen capture on B8.
Yes.
King captures. Now bring your rook and checkmate.
Yes. Checkmate. Even
Yes,
this pawn on that 7th rank is equally powerful. Like it can do
yes,
wonders.
yes. Very powerful.
And like we always, like for me, I always think it should go to 8 and take a queen and all such things. No need for all that. Sitting in 7th rank itself, it can do wonders.
Yes.
Okay.
So in all other variation, for example, the other check B7, no need to worry. He will simply capture with his king.
Yes.
Now you lost your queen and you don't have anything.
Yes.
And now the king has so many bearing square to just
So
go
many
anywhere.
places to go. It can go. Yes.
So whenever you see this kind of position where the king is blocked by his own pawn, then always calculate these kind of captures.
Okay.
Because when he is blocked by his pawn, there is a chance of checkmating him on the last rank.
Mm.
And of course, this we saw that if he captures, then either you can capture with your rook or capture with your pawn, both resulting to a checkmate.
Mm.
So that is why he will not capture. He will play a7 to give some breathing square for his king.
Yes.
And the other move that you were thinking, d8, bringing your queen. We saw that if queen captures, your queen captures, and then this captures.
Mm.
This you forgot. This rook is there, and you were playing this c8. Then, but he will capture.
Yeah. You capture. Yeah.
So now there are again one more nice idea. Suppose he don't capture with his queen. If he capture with his rook,
Mm.
now what will you do? It is related to the same idea only, but it is very important for you to learn and get introduced.
Like if my queen goes to 8, c8, check.
Yes,
Rook capture c8.
yes.
I can bring my rook from c1 to c8.
Then
Then it's a check.
it is a check or checkmate.
Yes. I will complete this one here. It's a checkmate because
Yes.
one square is there, no? Yeah.
So what you will play is you will not capture the rook. You will
I
play
will just
c8
yes.
because of these two pawns.
And this queen is there, no? So I don't want to come to d8.
Yes. So this in one of the positions we have done this in one of the puzzle where you had some queen there and you played rook queen even check, and then this rook captures, then the other rook captures and checkmate there.
Yes.
So this is called back rank checkmate.
Okay.
Very important.